Hello friends and welcome back to the channel for the final war of Season 41. We have a rematch today against Salty, saying goodbye to the Planetary Endurance Tactic. Team today going in with Nimrod, Nick Fury, and Omega Sentinel. Very happy about that. So one of the things that I did for this war in particular is I actually turned off MD temporarily. We don't have any Mystic attackers, so no worries there. And I used those points to max out the Petrify Mastery for my entire path here. So for this fight and for two others in particular, I really thought the decreased combat power rate during parry stuns was going to be very helpful. So TIGRA, notoriously stingy. I hate fighting TIGRA. So the plan here was just to parry and do 4 lights to maximize our damage output while giving her as little power as possible, because we're still going to be giving her power from dexing that special one with Mystic Dispersion here. So she's cooperative there with the first special one. However, with the second special one, she doesn't want to throw it, and then I accidentally end up intercepting her. I'm trying to hit into her block to create space, and she lets me intercept her by accident right here. So then I've pushed her to 2 bars, and I'm backed up against the wall, and now I'm like in panic mode almost. So I'm like, okay, I need to get 2 parries off, and then I can YOLO her with the special 2. She cooperates, thankfully, and we get the fight down. If she had launched that special 2, it absolutely would have put me into second life, and that would have really been a problem for the rest of my path here. So, all right, next up we have a Node 22 Weapon X. I've taken this fight a bunch of times. Full tech boost, advanced power boost for Nimrod here. Gonna go over the strategy yet again. So you just want to parry, build up your protocol charges, build up your armor up buffs in the incinerate phase. I do have the Odin shock pre-fight from an alliance mate, so we are covered there. And then once he switches into the shock mode right there, we're just going to race up to the special 2. Special 2 does a lot of damage. It is not a killing blow, unfortunately. So we have to wait out his unstoppable here, and then we can go back in. I think I make a mistake here. So right here, instead of intercepting, I back off, and then I take a bunch of hits in the corner because he's in the incinerate phase. I think that intercepting and just doing a few hits there probably would have been less damage over time than actually taking combos to the face here. So now he's back in the shock phase, and I realize that I can just kill him with another special 2. So there we go, fired off. That was as ugly as it gets, but an ugly win is still a win in my book, and I don't need Nimrod for the rest of the war, so don't need to worry about healing him up. Alright, we're up in Section 2 on Path 1. We have a spot on Node 30 here. Again, with an advanced power boost, we want to keep the tack charges up to keep the miss counter up as long as possible. And again, same strategy here as TIGRA. We want to just parry 4 light attacks, give him as little power as possible while maximizing our damage output. Ideally, if we can get really good luck, he'll never go untouchable. But if we spam the special 1 like we're doing here, we at least have a miss counter, so we won't take, we won't miss. We'll still take rupture damage, as you'll see in a moment here. Blocking all of his specials because I am absolute garbage at dexing his special 1 and punishing it. So special 2 I'm getting a bit more comfortable with. So you can see he's approaching untouchable. He actually is going to trigger it here, but we've got our tack charges up at 8, so we have a little bit of wiggle room here before that he goes untouchable. He goes untouchable here, so we're going to take a couple hits to the face and parry. We don't miss, but you can see we are still getting the ruptures on us, which I was a little surprised at. A little bit of damage, not really that problematic, but caught me a bit off guard there. Alright, next up we have a HAVOK on Node 40. This is an absolute nothing fight with Omega Sentinel. Since she's Nullify immune, she will not trigger Buffet, and thus we never have to worry about the reinvigorated node, and we're not going to be reversing any healing here, so Indomitable doesn't matter as well. You saw me pop on the heal block pre-fight there, and I think we had an APB left over from the fight against Spot, so we were able to get up to our special 2 very quickly, pop 5 plasmas on him, and they're ticking for roughly 2,500 damage per second or so. And then you're seeing we're also giving these shock passes to him. That's from the synergy that Omega has with Nimrod. So just a little bit of extra damage there. Not too much because his energy resistance is very high. Not really sure why I went for the refresh there on the special 1 rather than just continuing to build up to another special 2. You can play this fight in a multitude of ways. You can kind of do what I'm doing. You can just freely do whatever specials you want. The special 3 is also a good choice here. That'll place a guaranteed 6 plasmas on him. If you prefer that way. A random heavy there to pause, heal blocks for no apparent reason, and then 1 more special 2 finishes him off. So again, easy fight with Omega Sentinel. Glad to get her some use again on Alliance War Attack. Okay, last fight of the war and of the season for me is a Quicksilver mini on Node 55. Going to go in here with Nick. So strategy here, again, we're going to do parries and 4 lights. We want to maximize our damage output while giving him as little power as possible, like we've done in previous fights this war. Kind of treating this fight more or less like a bigger Node 24 Quicksilver. So in that regard, blocking the special ones here, as you can see, and then at some point that special one does go unblockable when he hits terminal velocity. And by the way, I am absolutely terrible at predicting, or noticing rather, when he hits terminal velocity. So you're going to see me try and block the special one, forgetting that it's going to be unblockable and just taking like a bunch of damage. Nick very safe for this fight, spamming the special ones to keep the evade counter up here. He's hit terminal velocity, so the next special one will be unblockable. It does a decent chunk to us, like 35% or so. But again, you know, Nick very safe. We have second life to fall back on if we take too much damage, but he's almost dead anyway. If you've been following my war videos this season, you might have noticed this is the only fight that stood in the way between me and another Deathless season in Tier 1. So one more combo is going to do it. Very proud of myself this season. 0 deaths, a big accomplishment for sure. Unfortunately, we did not come away with the win, so shout out to Salty, one of the best in the business, beating us twice this season. 5 kills, 0 deaths, and our final record for Season 41 is 7-5. Folks, thank you very much for sticking with me through another war season. Be sure to stay tuned for the War Rewards video, which I will have out in a day or two as soon as those are delivered. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.